Welcome to the third episode, where I want to recommend to you 3 starter characters for the release of Marvel Rivals, which will make it easy to get into the game. And this time we are having a look at the Strategist, aka the Supporters. But before we do this, there is a general disclaimer here. First things first, all the characters I will mention were playable in the beta. Yes, I know they have added more characters to the game, but I was not able to play them, so that means I cannot give you a first-hand experience on how those characters will probably do in the hand of a beginner. Second, yes, I'm also aware that there have been a lot of changes, a lot of buffs, a lot of nerfs to the characters, but I choose the characters I'm showing in those videos solely on how will it work for new players, how can you make an impact with those characters, and how can you still support your team without having to put in hours and hours of knowledge when it comes to the character itself. The first strategist I want to recommend to you is Adam Warlock, one of the definitely stronger healers in the game. And yes, he needs a little bit of time to be figured out, but he is still very easy to play because, yes, he has basically only one heal. And that heal is doing most of the work. That is the avatar livestream, which is bouncing between you and your allies and is healing them. And it's very strong. The problem is that it only has 2 charges and takes 6 seconds to regenerate 1 charge. So you have to learn to utilize that downtime. And what are you doing in the meantime while you cannot heal? Well, glad that you ask, because Adam does have a very strong left and right click, which can do a lot of damage. So yes, Adam can actually kill some of the enemies. With that said, he cannot heal with his left click and his right click. I know that some of the healers can, but Adam is one of them who cannot. His second quasi heal is Soul Bond. That's a shift ability, and you can bond with another player, and then you will share a portion of that damage, so they are not getting damaged that much. And also, both characters are getting a healing over time, which is relatively strong. But this is not something you want to put on somebody who needs a fast healing. This is something which helps you to negate some of the damage coming in on one of the tanks or something like that, and not really like an oh shit button, somebody needs health. If everything fails, Adam has his ultimate, which is the Karmic Revival, and in a 30-meter radius around him, he will revive all the dead friendly players, and this is where it gets even crazier, and it will do so for the next 10 seconds. So whenever somebody dies in a 30-meter radius, even after you use the ultimate, they will still get revived in that 10-second frame window. That's what makes him really strong. Luna Snow is the second strategist I want to recommend to you because she is an absolute beast when it comes to healing and movability, because her passive is already giving her the ability, when she is not being attacked or is attacking, to move faster over the battlefield. But the strongest suit of her is definitely the healing, so much so that they had to nerf her actually for the release, but her kit is still so strong that even a beginner can do a lot with her. The first thing you want to do is you want to choose a target with Share the Stage, aka the E ability, and now this character you have chosen will get 35% of all the healing Luna Snow is dishing out, no matter where that character is. Her left click and shift ability are attacks, but they're also heals. Yes, with your left and shift click, you can actually heal your own allies or damage the enemy, and that's where you are doing most of the healing. You also have a right click with absolute zero, which is allowing you to stun an enemy, heal yourself, and do a little bit of damage. Keep in mind though, if you want to have the stun lasting a little bit longer, do not attack that enemy afterwards. And her ultimate is the Fate of Both Worlds. And this is a huge aura she is getting around her, and she is starting to dance, and you can switch between healing and damage. So when you were hitting Q again, you will switch from a lot of healing to giving 40% damage buff to all of your allies, or you're switching back if you need the healing again. And the healing is so strong that there's not a lot which can kill you while you are doing your ultimate, and which can kill also your allies. So keep that in mind, very strong. and you don't need a lot of planning besides of being in the middle of the battle and then just start dancing. Rocket Raccoon is the third strategist I want to recommend, and there is a little bit of a learning curve with this character, but the moment you have figured it out, he becomes really strong. So the first thing you want to learn is that yes, Rocket can actually do quite a bit of damage with his left click, so you have to be careful with that. But the real thing you have to learn is his right click, which is his healing. He is not having a healing beam or something like that. He is shooting out a grenade, which is then bouncing off surfaces and is healing allies in the process. So you have to learn the range, the trajectory a little bit before you are really getting used to the healing. And yes, that means that some people will die at the beginning, but the moment you have figured that out, he is really strong because through the bouncing, you can also heal the same character multiple times if you were doing it right. His first ability is a gadget, the B gadget he can put down in an area on the map, and then if an ally dies, he can actually get resurrected at the B, and the B is also starting to produce armor and rocket packs allies can just pick up. Speaking about rocket packs, yes, Rocket of course has his own jetpack he can utilize to fly and dash around on the battlefield a little bit. Now he's not an Iron Man, he is not flying around the whole time. It's more like a jump pack, so to speak. He can also run on surfaces like walls, just to keep that in mind. His ultimate, the CYA, is also giving every ally for 12 seconds a 40% damage boost. Now, what is very important about the CYA and BRB is that those gadgets are actually things which are physically on the battlefield and can be destroyed. Yes, enemies can attack this. So you might want to place it in the right position. And this is something you also have to get used to, when to put down your gadgets, where to put them down. But the moment you have figured that out, like again, it's very strong and you don't really have to do much because the gadgets are all doing it on their own the moment you have put them down. With that said, this is the end of the video. I hope it was helpful. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you still have some questions, let me know down below in the comments. And if you want to see more Marvel Rival videos in the future, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. If you want to look for the Duelist and the Tank videos, they're also here on the channel. So check them out if you haven't yet. Till then, bye bye.